welcome back to Circuit Zandvoort. Welcome back to the Netherlands. Welcome to the season closer for Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux 2025. And yesterday, we saw that man there become the 11th driver to engrave his name on the trophy of Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux, the 13th Carrera Cup Benelux champion, and he was the 11th, a different name. He won the race yesterday, and what a race it was. Race 11 of this 12-race season. It was a race that was led all bar the last 3 laps by the number 65 car that you see on the left-hand side of your picture. Sam Yongyan started on pole position, led every single lap, apart from the all-important very last one. It was only when looking at the videos back yesterday that heading into the Hans Ernst chicane on the very last lap, we saw him indicating left, indicating right with his Porsche, and allowing his teammate Jaap van Lagen to come through and take the win. And it was late last night that Sam Yongyan posted on social media that it was a pre-arranged plan. He said there are reasons for this. It's more important to stand with the team than to pit myself against them. There's more to my motorsport career than just winning. It was an amazing thing to do. It meant that Jaap van Lagen became the champion with 1 race remaining. It was going to be a stretch for Sam Yongyan to win the championship, but he got the job done for Jaap van Lagen with 1 race remaining. Also yesterday, we saw the number 77 car, the orange and black Jules Grau car, clinch the Pro-Am Championship. We've already got a team championship that was decided at Zolder last time out in the direction of Team Raceart. It means we have just 1 more championship left to decide in this, the final race of the season. And boy, this one really is going to go all the way down to the wire, because yesterday, Milan Marchak jumped to the top of the rookie standings and now leads Frank Portehuis by just 2 points. It means that basically whoever finishes in front out of those 2 drivers will become the rookie champion, the rookie winner, who will get funding and free entry for next season's Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux season. This is going to be exciting. So Milan Marchak starts as the points leader in the rookies with 215 points. Frank Portehuis with 213. But for this race, Frank Portehuis has qualified on rookie pole. That is in 5th place overall on the grid. Milan Marchak is down in 9th place. So Marchak has all the work to do. Frank Portehuis just needs to stay in front of Marchak, and he will jump back to the top of the rookie championship and take the rookie title. So he's got it all to do, but he's going to be hoping that he has a better day than yesterday. He had a nightmare day yesterday, finishing out of the rookie podiums and limping home. And it meant that Milan Marchak, taking the rookie win yesterday, had a maximum points score. It's going to be exciting in this, the final race. It's Jaap van Lagen who will start on pole position, the new champion of Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux, with Sam Yongyan, the 2 Team Raceart drivers starting alongside each other. Robin Knudsen and Niels Langeveld will be on row 2. Then it's Frank Portehuis and Nikola Milkovic. They'll be ahead of Jules Grau, who's on the pole for the Pro-Ams. 8th on the grid is Nick Ho. Then it's Milan Marchak and Alex Ryman. Henry Tuamala, Thomas Kangro will be on row 6. On row 7, Mace Muller and Draker Janssen. Welcome back, Draker. And then Max Schlickenmeyer and Yanni Kakea, the outgoing Pro-Am champion, who will start on the back row of the grid. We are set for what is going to be an enthralling race. We're going to be looking very much at who is winning and leading in the overall race, but we're going to be watching this man here. Milan Marchak has it all to do. He leads the championship of the rookies by just 2 points, but he's got to work his way forwards. He has to finish in front of Frank Portehuis. So the cars looking resplendent, much better conditions than yesterday here. About 17, 18 degrees centigrade in the glorious Zandvoort sunshine. A circuit that is 4.259 kilometers around, 14 turns, 10 to the right, 4 to the left. Let's go for the very last time in 2025. Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. A dreadful start for Sam Yongyan. He's got mugged by Robin Knudsen, but he's coming back on the inside. Knudsen and Langeveld running 3 abreast, and Yongyan getting squeezed towards the wall. But Knudsen is the driver that has got past. But that was Frank Porte who is going wide out of turn 2 up towards turn 3. So a bit of a wild moment for him there. The rest of the cars coming streaming around the legendary 90-degree banking. You can see Yongyan going wide, kicking up the dust. Now Niels Langeveld challenging for 3rd position. Yongyan getting his elbows out and shuffling his way back forwards. And Jaap van Lagen, who has cleared off at the very, very front. The rest of the cars now settling themselves down in towards Schijvlak. They come for the very first time. 30 minutes plus 1 lap of racing, but Jaap van Lagen, whilst the cars behind were fighting for those positions, has been able to open up a massive gap at the front. Right, cars jostling for position further back. We're going to have one eye on Frank Porte and another eye on Nick Ho, who is also in a very similar liveried car, and the eye on Milan Marchak. So let's see the cars as they come up over the crest of the hill. And that is Nick Ho. There's Nikola Milkovic getting it wrong, going across the gravel track. So Frank Porte, after a difficult first lap, is able to move back past him. But Frank Porte has not had a great start to this race. He's dropped back, and there's Milkovic going very wide onto the gravel. He's able to join, so he keeps it all going up onto the 18-degree banking of the Arie Luijendijk turn. Across the line they will come, and we will get the confirmation of the positions. It's Jaap van Lagen who leads the way, challenging further back. Cars coming through the pack. Really good stuff here, running alongside Jules Grauw there. That's Thomas Cangro, who is also fighting for position. But Frank Porte down into 6th place, and his main challenger Milan Marchak in 7th, just behind him. So Milan Marchak has made up great ground at the beginning. We've got a yellow flag at turn 2, so somebody's had a moment at turn 2. That flag has now cleared. We're on board with Milan Marchak. This is significant if he can get him past the car in front of him on the track. And there, that was a car pointing in the wrong direction. That was a wild moment coming towards him. Milan Marchak is clear of that car, but if he can get past to Frank Porte, he will be the rookie champion. They are running 6th and 7th. This is going to be a very, very tense 27 minutes plus 1 lap. Jaap van Lagen has cleared off at the front. When they crossed the line, he was nearly 2 seconds clear of Robin Knudsen, who's had such a good start. Then Sam Yongyan, then Niels Langeveld, then Nick Ho, then Frank Porte and Milan Marchak. Alex Ryman, the new Pro-Am champion, Jules Grauw in 9th, and then is Thomas Cangro. So Nikola Milkovic has rejoined in 16th place. I haven't got confirmation of who that was pointing in the wrong direction, given a code brown moment on board for Milan Marchak, that's for sure. Right, across the line we come, so we'll get some confirmations here. Jaap van Lagen, Robin Knudsen, Niels Langeveld, Nick Ho, Frank Porte, who is in 5th place ahead of Milan Marchak. Then Alex Ryman, Jules Grauw, Drake Jansen, Thomas Cangro, Mace Muller on board now with Sam Yongyan as he looks to fight his way back. And it was Yongyan who had that big moment. So Sam Yongyan was the car that was spun on turn 3, so he's dropped all the way to the back, and that's Yannick Kakea, I think, going straight on just ahead of him. So clearly some traction issues, but the driver that was stealing the headlines yesterday, Sam Yongyan, now at the very pack. He's clearly had a big moment in turn 3. Right, let's have another look at the start here. And there was a very eager getaway further back for Milan Marchak. I haven't seen any issues with the jump start, so I think he just anticipated it well. But a great start for Jaap van Lagen. And then look at this, 3 abreast into turn 1. Yongyan getting pinched towards the wall. Robin Knudsen, Niels Langeveld on the wide outside. Then into turn 2, Frank Porte was in the background there, and he went wide off onto the dirt, maybe making a very small contact with the other car that was there. You see Frank Porte and he rejoined. Right, this was up on turn 3. So Sam Yongyan on turn 3 on the inside of Niels Langeveld. and then up over the hill. Takes so much courage. It's a blind crest as they head up over that hill. Takes an awful lot to keep the foot buried on it. This is the view out of the Arie Luijendijk final turn. So let's have another look at the standings at the moment. It's Jaap van Lagen, the new champion of Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux, who leads Robin Knudsen by just under 3 seconds. Then it's Niels Langeveld, then Nick Ho. Right, so challenges all the way down the pack. Everybody elbows out racing. The points championships all decided, with the exception of this man here, Milan Marchak in 6th place, tracking down Frank Portehuis. So if the race finished now, it would be 238 points going the way of Frank Portehuis in total, and 235 to Milan Marchak. So the championship would go to Frank Portehuis. So we've got to keep an eye on Milan Marchak here as he tracks down the number 22 car. Brilliant stuff from Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux in 2025. And as the race just settles down with 23 3/4 minutes remaining, Jaap van Lagen leading the way at the moment. And then in that second place, Robin Knudsen, Niels Langeveld, just all settling down now. But I get the feeling there may be drama to come. Right, is that a yellow flag? No, that is actually indicating that the track might be a little bit slippery. And we think we may have discovered that, courtesy of Sam Yongyan, a little bit earlier. So the track with a few traction issues. We've had a fair bit of rain, and there are still some wet patches on the circuit. But at the moment, looking reasonably dry, and of course the sun's out, the track drying out. There may be some fluids on the track as well. So our leading rookie at the moment, Frank Portehuis. Second in the rookies, Milan Marchak. In the Pro-Am race, it's Jules Grau, the new Pro-Am champion, who leads the way. He's in 9th place overall. Second in the Pro-Ams is Henry Tuamala, and Yanni Kakea after that big moment early on at the very, very back of the pack. There is Frank Portehuis. He's got to focus. He cannot be making mistakes. Had such a bad day yesterday. Brought the car home, which was really important. He did not record a non-finish. It means he got the points for 4th place. Had he not done that, today would have been a much steeper mountain to climb. Milan Marchak with all the work to do. He's got everything to gain and nothing to lose to challenge Frank Portehuis. Now we see him on board with Sam Yongyan now further back as he tries to work his way back through the pack. That's Henry Tuamala up ahead of him. So having spun up on turn 3, Sam Yongyan down into 14th place. The driver who has won 3 races this year, and apart from a dreadful opening race of the season where he recorded 0 points, has been in the top 6 in every single race. So this is not what he had in mind when he got out of bed this morning. And if Jaap van Lagen was going to repay the favour that Sam Yongyan gave him yesterday, then he's not going to have the opportunity, because Yongyan, all the way down in 14th place here in Zandvoort, is going to struggle to work his way forwards. Right, Jaap van Lagen leads the way, but the gap is now down to 1.903. So Robin Knudsen has turned the heat up in 2nd place. Niels Langeveld in 3rd place as well. Langeveld, who has only had 1 win this year. That was here at Zandvoort back in June. Of course, this is the 2nd visit to Zandvoort for Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux this year. That is Frank Portehuis. There is Milan Marchak. That is for the remaining championship. That is to be decided. In the Pro-Ams, Jules Grau can no longer be caught. In the overall championship, Jaap van Lagen can no longer be caught. In the team championship, Team Raceart can no longer be caught. Of course, 3 drivers for Team Raceart: Jaap van Lagen, Sam Yongyan, Jules Grau. They've all been there fighting for that team championship. And they're in the Team Raceart car. Jaap van Lagen, it was 1.903 last time across the line. The 1, 2, 3 running pretty close together, but it looks to me like Robin Knudsen and Niels Langeveld are starting to close in. In 4th place, Nick Ho, the driver who has taken such a big step up this year, such an improved driver, took his first win earlier on in the season. Definitely one of the up-and-coming superstars in that 4th place at the moment. may well be a challenger for next year's championship. Right, out across the line we come once again. 1.903 last time, 1.640, so 0.3 taken out. But Robin Knudsen now, rather than hunting, is being the hunted, because Niels Langeveld has a look to the inside into turn one. Out of one they come in towards turn two. Niels Langeveld putting the pressure on for that second place. Robin Knudsen taking a much lower line around turn three. He comes taken at about 125 kilometers an hour. Then onto the gas they come. Robin Knudsen very much under control at the moment, but Niels Langeveld putting the pressure on, trying to force him into a mistake. This is a really fast part of the track. Down the hill they'll come towards Scheivlak, which is turn 7. It's a fairly steep downhill, easy to get it wrong, so important to be concentrating hard. All of this is allowing Jaap van Lagen to reopen up that gap, because as long as Robin Knudsen is having to defend that second place, he's not setting about chasing down the leader. So this is playing very much into the hands of Jaap van Lagen, who leads the way. Robin Knudsen there in the red and white car in second place. Directly behind him in the car number 10, Niels Langeveld. Now Nick Ho also joining this battle. Behind them, Frank Portehuis. So this is going to be very interesting, because if Frank Portehuis gets to the back of Nick Ho, then he's going to have to decide whether he challenges to move forwards or whether he holds station. Milan Marchak going to be at the back of that queue, closing in on all of them in 6th place. His only goal in this race is to get past the 5th place number 22 car of Frank Portehuis. Whether that's to overtake him on the track, whether to force him into a mistake, whatever it takes. But Milan Marchak will want to get past the number 22 car. He will want to win in the Rookie Championship here in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux, the series that has promoted so many new rookies. We've having about 6 to 8 new rookies every season that join this series. Very much a feeder series towards the Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup. That's the series that supports Formula 1, and many of the drivers here going on towards that. In fact, this year we've seen Dirk Schouten, we've seen Jaap van Lagen, who have been in Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup. Also, Frank Portehuis has guested in it. So it is the top of the tree in terms of cup racing, Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup. And of course, with such a big audience on the bill for Formula 1 as well. Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux very much feeding into Super Cup, and it's going from strength to strength as it does that. We've had about 6 to 8 new rookies every season. Next year, we're expecting about 8 to 10 new Pro-Ams or Pro-Am drivers for next season, the 2026 season. So this series looking stronger than ever, providing such good, entertaining racing. We've had 6 different winners from 10 races this year, which shows how competitive it is. And with a field of maybe 8 to 10 Pro-Ams next year, plus a load of new rookies as well, it's really shaping up to be another great year next year as we ride on board with Sam Yongyan. Not a great day for him. He's down in 13th place. Up ahead of him is Max Schlickenmeyer. He's one of the rookies for this year. And Max, who has been part of the talent pool, the training and tutoring of the drivers that takes place, and it's all part of the rookies and the talent pool, all about training these drivers as they move up through the ladder. And Max Schlickenmeyer, a driver who I think it's fair to say at Spa-Francorchamps at the beginning of the year, made a lot of mistakes and struggled a bit, but he has gone from strength to strength and has been a regular rookie podium visitor now. Such an improved driver. Currently in 12th place. Behind him is a driver who a year ago was in the Rookie Championship himself, and then this year fighting for the overall championship. We'd love to see Sam Yongyan moving up into the greater categories, maybe up into Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup. Who knows? Would be great to see. But at the moment, he's got the young upstart, Max Schlickenmeyer, just ahead of him. Jaap van Lagen, something of a veteran in motorsport and in Porsche. He's been in GT Masters in the past. In 2014, he finished second in the GT Masters Championship. He had many wins in Porsche 6 Carrera Cup Germany. As we see, Frank Portehuis is locking up, so the pressure starting to show for the driver that is leading the way in the rookies at the moment. But the rookie points leader has used that opportunity to close in on him. Niels Langeveld also kicking up a bit of dirt out of turn 13 in towards turn 14 they come. So out of 14, the line dike turn, and out across the line they come once again. Great stuff here. So Jaap van Lagen leads the way. The gap is up to 3.254 on account of the fact that Robin Knudsen has been having to defend. In fact, Niels Langeveld now has found the route past. So Niels Langeveld into second place, Knudsen down to third, into the clutches of Nick Ho. So there, Frank Portehuis has caught up with Nick Ho himself, but waiting in the background, ready to pounce like a coiled string. Milan Marchak is there waiting. That'll be a coiled spring, not string. Milan Marchak in that 6th place. You could just see he's waiting for that moment. You can see how hard Frank Portehuis is pressing on, using every inch of the track, trying to hit all of the correct braking points. But one more lockup from Frank Portehuis, and that will be the opportunity that Milan Marchak would need, because now he's right on his back bumper. He is poised. He is ready to jump. Nick Ho could feature in this as well. He's in 4th place at the moment. What is Frank Portehuis going to do? Is he going to challenge for that 4th place? Is he going to try and hold station? If he does, he will leave himself vulnerable to Milan Marchak. But if he challenges Ho and it doesn't stick, he will leave a gap for Milan Marchak to come through. Out of the chicane, they come once again in towards turn 13. This is the fight for the Rookie Championship. The driver at the front of the queue is not in the Rookie Championship, but the two behind really are. This is going down to the wire. 13.25 minutes remaining of the 2025 season for Porsche Carrera Benelux. Out past the pits they come, in towards turn 1. Nick Ho in that 4th place at the moment. Frank Portehuis just looking for an opportunity to get past, to try and get the move done without allowing Milan Marchak to come through. Brilliant stuff. Meanwhile, at the front, Jaap van Lagen has the gap at 2.651 over Niels Langeveld. So Langeveld will now be pushing as hard as he can to close in on the leader. But if you push too hard too soon, you use the tyres up and you have nothing to defend with later in the race. So it's all about looking after the car, looking after the tyres, looking after the brakes. Just to remind you, if things remain as they are now, Frank Portehuis will have 238 points. He will win the Rookie Championship by 3 points. But Milan Marchak knows that he has 12 minutes and 20 seconds to do something about it. Look how close he is now to Frank Portehuis. Nick Ho in front of them will be aware there's a battle unfolding in front behind him, and he'll not want to get involved in it, but he wants the points for 4th place as well. Flashing the lights, Frank Portehuis in 5th place. Brilliant stuff here from Porsche Carrera Benelux. This is why we love Porsche Carrera Benelux. It is nose to tail racing all the way to the line here in towards turn 13. They will come once again. Jaap van Lagen leading, Niels Langeveld, then Robin Knudsen. That's your podium. Then this 4th, 5th, 6th. Never has a position been so important for Frank Portehuis. He must hold station if he wants to win the Rookie Championship. 11.5 minutes remaining in towards turn 1. They pick up a slipstream as they head into that turn 1, the Tarzan turn. Then it's out of turn 1 in towards turn 2, and then up towards turn 3, which is taken at about 100 kilometers an hour. On board with Milan Marchak. So all he can see in front of him is his championship rival. He knows he has to get past that car in the next 11 minutes if he wants to take that rookie title. Remember, the rookie winner will get free entry into next season, but even more important than that, they will have the prestige of being a champion in this wonderful series in its 13th season. Porsche Carrera Benelux 2025. Nick Ho playing such an important part in this race at the moment, in 4th place. He'll want to hold on there, because if any of the cars in front have any issues at all, that will elevate him into a podium position. Frank Portehuis wondering what he's got to do to get past Nick Ho. How can he get past the 98 car and not let the 96 car through at the same time? If he could get Nick Ho between himself and Milan Marchak, he knows he would have a cushion, he would have a buffer. Milan Marchak will know that he needs to get past Frank Portehuis before he can get past Nick Ho. 10 minutes remaining of this race. 10 minutes remaining of this season. You can see the back end sliding of Frank Porte-Huis into turn 14. The Ari Lyndijk turn absolutely flat out along the straight up to about 250 kilometers an hour in 6th gear. In towards turn 1 they come, under braking. Porte-Huis just shows his nose to the inside. Marchak has dropped back a bit. This is the opportunity to Porte-Huis, but he takes a very wide exit out of turn 1. That's allowed Nick Ho just to break clear a little. So here we go again. 4th, 5th, 6th. How is this going to end? This championship will be over in 9 minutes, 20 seconds plus 1 lap. And one of these two drivers is going to be the rookie champion. Milan Marchak wants it to be him. Up over the blind crest, almost pushing Frank Porte-Huis. He's to the outside into Scheivlak. Porte-Huis has him covered off, but then to the inside, Milan Marchak has a gap on the inside. Who is going to be in front when they come around this corner? There is Nick Ho, and it's Milan Marchak who's in front, up to 5th place. Frank Porte-Huis now has all the hard work to do. So, if the race finishes now, Milan Marchak would be champion, but Frank Porte-Huis comes slotting back to fight for that position. These two drivers swapping on every corner, but at the moment, advantage Milan Marchak. Frank Porte-Huis now picking up the slipstream behind him. He had that position of 5th place for so long. Now into the chicane they come, looking to the left, looking to the right. Having done all the hard work, Milan Marchak now has to defend. He'll want to open up a gap, chase after Nick Ho, but Frank Porte-Huis will be desperate. 8.25 minutes remaining. He goes wide into 12 and 13. He's got dirt onto the tyres. He drops back. That's exactly what Milan Marchak needs. So Marchak breaking clear, and across the line they come once again. So it all changes. If the race finishes as they are now, it will be Milan Marchak who would become the champion. It would be Milan Marchak who would pick up the 25 points to take the win in the rookies. He would have 240 points. Frank Porte-Huis would be 7 points behind. As we ride on board with Sam Yongyan, while all that's been going on, he's made rapid progress, showing why he is an absolute superstar of the present and of the future. Up into 8th place as he's found a route past the Pro-Am champion Jules Grau. While all that is going on, Jaap van Lagen leads by 1.7 seconds from Niels Langeveld. Then it's Robin Knudsen. Then it's Nick Ho. Then it's the driver who will be the rookie champion if things remain as they are. Milan Marchak in 5th place. Frank Porte-Huis has dropped back somewhat. He's going to have to draw on everything that he's got. He's going to have to pull on all of the experience that he has to try and close in on his rival up ahead of him. Out towards turn 13 again. Time starting to run out. Here comes Nick Ho. Nope, here comes Jaap van Lagen, our race leader. Ahead of Niels Langeveld, 1.7 seconds was the gap last time around. We'll see what it is when they cross the line this time around. So Jaap van Lagen breaks the beam, 1.925. So Van Lagen has started to field and respond to the Niels Langeveld challenge. Behind them, Robin Knudsen in that 3rd place. Then Nick Ho, then that car there, Milan Marchak, who found the route past Frank Porte-Huis. Frank, who will be ruining a really difficult day yesterday. There are now just 6 minutes plus 1 lap remaining of this 2025 season. The legendary Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux season number 13. And we already know who the overall champion is, but you know that the rookie championship is going to go to the wire. The points are not paid out until they cross the finish line. Milan Marchak, how much has he taken out of the car getting past Frank Porte-Huis? He cannot afford to make mistakes. He cannot afford to miss a braking point or to go wide. He cannot afford to end up in the gravel trap. He needs to hold it together for 5.5 minutes. You know that the 6th place Frank Porte-Huis will be putting all of the pressure on, trying to force Milan Marchak into something of a mistake if he can. But Milan Marchak, one of the talent pool drivers, another one who is coached and mentored by former Porsche factory driver Dirk Werner, training, helping the drivers to find sponsors, helping them with their physical and mental health. Not just about driving skill, about being the all-round product, how to deal with the media and the social media. That's what the talent pool does, and the talent pool nurturing these young rookies as they move their way up the ladder in the world of Porsche Cup racing. 4.5 minutes remaining. Jaap van Lagen seems to have this under control, looking to make it back-to-back wins here at Zandvoort. Niels Langeveld in second place, another experienced driver. Niels Langeveld in the number 10 car. He's come through the ranks of touring car racing, has been something of a very welcome addition to Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux here in this 2025 season. Sam Yongyan has dispatched Thomas Cangro, so he's up to 7th place. Next up ahead of him will be Frank Porte-Hues, but that is some 6.6 seconds. So you get the feeling that 7th place is probably about as good as it's going to get for Sam Yongyan. Frank Porte-Hues definitely doesn't want the 65 car in his mirrors as well to add to his trauma. At the moment, Milan Marchak has broken clear of him. He's about a second clear of Frank Porte-Hues. We'll see what it is when they cross the line next. At the moment, Jaap van Lagen in control. So, and that's Max Schlickermeier after such good progress from 11th place. Now, he has had that spin. He's able to rejoin, but Max Schlickermeier with a moment as up at turn 9. He's able to rejoin, but that's such a shame. But he's a driver who should take so much comfort from the fact that he has come on in leaps and bounds this year. So Max Schlickermeier able to rejoin, albeit somewhere near the very, very back of the pack. There is Sam Yongyan after that spin on turn 3. Just behind him, Thomas Cangro. Jules Grau, the Pro-Am leader, the new Pro-Am champion as well, in 9th place. Out across the line we come once again. 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. It's certainly looking like Jaap van Lagen has this under control. We have another look here, and that was Mace Muller just in front of Max Schlickermeier, but it looks like probably just getting a wheel onto something that had less traction, maybe the white line, maybe the grass, but the back end of the car stepping out. Fortunately, he's able to avoid any other dramas with anybody else. That was Drake Jansen that came through, so I think he probably rejoined in about 15th place. Right, Robin Knutsen fancies moving up a step on the podium. So Niels Langeveld, having been hunting down Jaap van Lagen, now having to defend hard. So this is for second place. Just over 2 minutes remaining of this, the final race of the season. This is the battle for second place that you are witnessing at the moment. Car number 10, Niels Langeveld, Robin Knutsen, another driver who has taken a massive step up the ladder this year in terms of skill and racecraft. A really rapid driver, a race winner this year. Now into turn 13. Once again, he comes. Niels Langeveld with all the pressure, having to drive with one eye on the mirror, but focusing on the road in front as well. Up onto the Arie Luijendijk, back they come once again, out onto the pit straight. Jaap van Lagen, this is a gift for him because it means they won't close in on him while they're fighting with each other. He is over 3 seconds clear at the front and seemingly on his way to his 4th win of the season. The second place battle is raging on. Nick Ho having a relatively lonely race behind now because Milan Marchak in that 5th place is ahead of Frank Porte-Hues and will take the rookie championship if things remain as they are for the next 1 minute plus 1 lap. But we still got plenty to come here. The fight for second place still rages on. Niels Langeveld down once again towards Scheivlak. Turn 7, such a tricky corner. We see so many cars getting it wrong, ending in those deep, deep gravel traps. No such issues for Jaap van Lagen. There's your leader, first, then second, then third. Robin Knutsen sliding the back end around turn 8 and 9 as he tries to close in. Then into turn 10 they come. Then it'll be out towards turn 11, the Hans Ernst chicane. Then into 12 and then up onto the banking. 20 seconds remaining on the clock at the moment. Jaap van Lagen is up at turn 12. So it looks as though the clock is going to strike 0 before he gets back to the line. And then we will be on the last lap of the season for Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux 2025. Our race leader, Jaap van Lagen, is up onto the Arie Luijendijk turn as we speak. The clock has struck 0, so he comes out to cross the line. One more lap remaining of this race 12 of a 12-race season for Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. Jaap van Lagen looking to make it back-to-back wins. Second place very much up for grabs at the moment. And now Milan Marchak has Frank Porte-Huis. What is Frank Porte-Huis going to do on this last lap of the race to try and find a route past and to take the championship? This is for the rookies. These two cars you're looking at here, this is for the rookie championship. Milan Marchak made it past, but has he taken too much out of the car? He takes a low line round to turn 3, then up high he goes. Frank Porte-Huis doing everything that he can. He knows that in the remainder of this lap, he needs to get past car number 96 to take the rookie championship. But time is starting to run out. The back end sliding down into Schijfvlak for the very, very last time. Then around in towards turn 8. Brilliant stuff. Milan Marchak will need to focus on the road in front. Meanwhile, Jaap van Lagen leading the way. Then Niels Langeveld, Robin Knudsen, Nick Ho. This battle here is for the rookies. Whichever of these two cars finishes in front at the end of this lap will be the rookie champion. They will have free entry to next season, but they will have their name engraved on a trophy that has so many great names before it. In towards the chicane they come for the very, very last time. At the moment, Jaap van Lagen is heading up towards the final corner, but our focus is on this because this is for the rookie championship. Jaap van Lagen wins. Second across the line is Niels Langeveld. Then it's going to be Robin Knudsen. Then it's going to be Nick Ho. But who is going to be the rookie champion? We wait to see who it's going to be. Here comes Nick Ho now. It's Milan Marchak who leads out of the final corner. Flashing the lights. Milan Marchak becomes the rookie champion of 2025 for Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. Frank Porte-Huis did everything to try and get past. It all came down to just the last few minutes of the last race of the season. But it's Milan Marchak who takes the championship for the rookies. Wonderful stuff for Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. Oh, sit down, everybody. Brilliant racing and what great driving. Both Milan Marchak, Frank Porte-Huis, they did a stunning job. Entertainment all of the way. That was the 5th rookie win for Milan Marchak this season. Frank Porte-Huis has 6 rookie wins, but the more consistent racing. And you just know that Frank Porte-Huis will be looking back at yesterday and will just be reflecting on what was such a difficult race in greasy conditions. At the end of all that, Sam Yongyan from Stone Last made it up to 7th place. But Jaap van Lagen, let's not take it away from him. He is the new champion, of course, of Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. And he certainly cemented that because that win will have extended his lead at the top of the point standings. Not that it would have made any difference because Sam Yongyan was never going to be able to catch him anyway, but he would have picked up a valuable 25 points for that. Sam Yongyan would have got points for 7th place, but it means that Jaap van Lagen is 45 points clear of his teammate. Robin Knudsen, sterling job fighting with Niels Langeveld all of the way, and he will finish 3rd in the championship. Niels Langeveld also getting a good points haul, but as the 2025 season comes to a close, it's Jaap van Lagen who is the overall champion. Sam Yongyan will finish 2nd, some 45 points adrift. Robin Knudsen will finish 3rd, 1 point less than Sam Yongyan with 46-point deficit, and Niels Langeveld will finish in 4th place in the championship, and he is some 53 points back from Jaap van Lagen. But Jaap van Lagen, well, he made it look easy from the front. He stepped off that pole position and he did nothing wrong, just pulled away, did exactly what his teammate Sam Yongyan did yesterday, although Yongyan giving up that lead with 3 quarters remaining yesterday for the greater good, playing the team game. And you'd like to think that for Sam Yongyan, that will come back and that will be a payback for that in the future. At the moment, Jaap van Lagen, a legendary driver. We knew when he decided to enter Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux that he was going to be a championship challenger. As I already mentioned, we've seen him in Porsche 6 Carrera Cup Germany. We've seen him in GT Masters. We've seen him in the 24-hour series. And we've seen him in Porsche Mobile 1 Super Cup. And that is very much the goal for a lot of these drivers. Milan Marchak climbs from the car, indicating #1 in the race of the rookies and #1 in the championship. Another one who will be looking to make his way towards Porsche Mobile 1 Super Cup. This series that feeds drivers into the top level of cup racing alongside all the Formula 1 drivers in front of that big audience. Milan Marchak, of course, will not be a rookie if in next year's season. He will get free entry into Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux next year, and we hope to have about another 6 to 8 new rookies next season. As I've already mentioned, as Jaap van Lagen continues to celebrate, we have hoping to have about 8 to 10 Pro-Ams in next season's racing. So we're looking really good for the 2026 season. The official calendar has not been released yet, but I can confirm that round 1 next year, 2026, will be at the wonderful Spa-Francorchamps. The Ardennes roller coaster will be the place where the 2026 season will kick off. And as with this year, they will be supporting the World Endurance Championship. So part of the WEC bill next year in front of many, many thousands of people. That'll be from the 7th to the 9th of May next year. Right, well, let's have a look at the results. Of course, all subject to confirmation, but nothing iffy there that I can see. Jaap van Lagen taking the win ahead of Niels Langeveld. Robin Knudsen, Nick Ho, solid drive from him. Milan Marchak, that 5th place that gave him the rookie championship. Frank Porte, who is in 6th, ahead of Sam Yongyan after that spin, coming back to 7th. Thomas Cangro in 8th place, and he was ahead of Jules Graul, the Pro-Am winner in this race and the new Pro-Am champion. Then it's Mace Muller rounding out the top 10, ahead of Henry Tuamala, Yanni Kakea, Drake Janssen, Alex Ryman, Max Schlickenmeyer, and Nikola Milkovic rounding out the top 16. I do hope you have enjoyed the racing here at Zandvoort this weekend. I do hope you have enjoyed the 13th season of Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. It has been my absolute privilege to bring commentary for much of the racing, and also the privilege of Adam Weller, who's also been covering this season. A massive thanks to Adam for all that he has brought to Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux this year as well. We hope you've enjoyed it. We're going to have a little break now for the winter, but we say congratulations to Jaap van Lagen, your new champion, Jules Graul, your new Pro-Am champion, Milan Marchak, your new rookie champion, Team Race Art, the new team champion. We hope they're all going to be back to defend, to attack, and to race in 2026. We'll be back from the 7th to the 9th of May at Spa-Francorchamps for Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux 2026.